Save from Worlds?
That's all right. Don't worry about it. We're ready to rock. Trust me, I got this.
Okay. Yeah.
3, 2, 1. We're go.
Hey, hi.
Hey, Pat. How you doing?
Hi, I'm good.
Last week, shit got hectic.
Yeah,
And you know what? It happens
that's true.
a lot.
Yeah. So what? So you don't have to go too deep into it, but since we weren't able to give you a full episode, we want to give you a little recap episode, just a tiny, just kind of what's going on in the world of jiu-jitsu.
That's right. That's
just
right.
last week instead of like 2 weeks ago.
Right. It's more of like an inspiration type video right now.
Yeah.
So what I want you guys to do is if you don't currently have a subscription to Flow Grappling, totally worth the money. If not, get a subscription to YouTube.
yeah. Start get an email account.
So the we're going to do a quick 10-minute episode here because if you want to get down into the gritty nitty, which we'll do here, we're going to record another episode today as well, but that one's not going to be launched until the following week.
Right.
It's my fault. I take full responsibility for this because as we had mentioned in the previous podcast, this podcast makes us $0.
Yeah, absolutely.
So my day job actually pays me the money that I need to, I don't know, feed my family.
Turns out that's the priority.
It turns out it's a priority. And let me tell you guys, shit's been hectic.
Yeah.
So, and I had to pass on recording last Friday.
You had to sell a kid.
I had to sell a kid. And let me tell you how
Times
much
are
harder.
tough.
Yeah, times are rough, man. And that's a lot of work. Thankfully, I have 3 now, but
Yeah.
I had 4 kids.
Yeah, I mean, but great organs. They're gonna
They're
go
perfectly
far.
healthy. They're going to work really hard for you.
Yeah, strong
So,
backs.
Yeah, very strong backs.
Strong backs on the
They've
backs.
good genetics.
But
so.
but in the meantime, while you're waiting for that full episode to come out,
That's right. We did talk about Worlds. That was, Masters Worlds that was this past weekend or the weekend prior. We did have some representatives, and shout out to those guys that went out to compete from Harrisburg Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Judo. Really proud of you guys. But some of the highlights that we wanted to just discuss, if we're not going to be able to go through the entire list of who won every division because that's not what this podcast is.
It was the whole world.
About.
We can't do it. It's the whole
lot,
world.
It's a lot of people.
Yeah.
But I do want to point out a couple of highlights that if you guys get an opportunity to hop on YouTube and watch these matches, and it brings up another important point for this small episode that we're doing, and that is, I don't know, some of you aren't interested in watching jiu-jitsu matches after class.
You leave class and then that's pretty much it for jiu-jitsu except for the group text, and that's not okay. Okay?
And that's not okay.
Okay?
I encourage you guys to watch matches at a high level. And what you'll find is I think that it'll be more affirming than not. And we've talked about this before on the podcast, that there are levels to jiu-jitsu.
Right.
And what you're watching at that high of a level is you're watching top tier grappling.
Yeah.
And what you'll find most of the time is that fundamentals wins almost every time.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And the matches have been very exciting here recently. And so I encourage you guys to hop on YouTube and watch whatever you can. Most of that'll be under Flow Grappling's channel.
Yeah.
So if you get on there and subscribe, you'll get a lot of extra content. If you have the extra funds and want to subscribe for the year, you can watch all of them.
Yeah. There was a couple really weird facts that I learned from this
weird
world.
Facts.
Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson, one of the greatest MMA fighters,
a UFC legend,
an MMA legend. This guy got traded to one and then dominates everything.
Yeah,
one of the biggest highlight reel submissions of all time. Submissions of all time. And I brought up earlier in class, the fact that
flying arm lock.
Yeah, flying arm lock. And what I think was probably when he was at about a blue belt.
Probably.
Let's say officially.
Yeah, probably.
Because I realized watching some of the footage and seeing some of the results that Mighty Mouse is a brown belt. And this is the first time he is competing in a jiu-jitsu tournament.
Yeah, first time in a jiu-jitsu tournament. He went to IBJJF Worlds and he smoked everybody.
Guess what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How intimidating would that be of even as a brown belt, there's probably very little that you ever get intimidated by. But like you probably, I mean, where you go like shit.
Yeah.
But if Mighty Mouse comes up, and you're like, you're my division. I mean, how much do you weigh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the guys at the concession stand just eating hot dogs. Like, I gotta go up and wait.
Yeah. So he did really well. He had a great showing.
Yeah, like you said, smoked him 1 gold. Of course, that's all he does is 1 gold.
Yeah, and we had a lot of really. Also, part of this, of course, is the absolute Grand Prix. So,
Yes.
like a lot of big names in those. Marigali fought. Tane and Dalpra fought. There's a whole bunch of guys that just to like tell you guys, if you want to go watch some great matches, there's some really tough stuff in the Grand Prix. Was terrific.
Yeah.
So lots of great matches. No way that we can go through all of them. But just wanted to give you guys a heads up that if you were on the fence about whether or not you want to watch any matches from Worlds, watch the matches from Worlds.
They even though we had predicted that they would be very entertaining and you should check them out, we were right. Go ahead, go back, and now we're giving you the highlights. We're telling you which ones to check out.
So, I mean, that'll just like kind of wrap up this episode. It's just a brief one, just to keep you guys, on task with jiu-jitsu. We got a great episode coming up for the following week. It's all about my imposter syndrome.
Yeah, we're getting deep
in teaching and in like the perspective of like what it's like to teach Brazilian jiu-jitsu to all you animals.
That one's going to be asking a vulnerable black belt. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm gonna take a deep breath and we're gonna dive into that.
You want me to get a puke bucket?
Probably.
Just in case you get like so emotional. Get dizzy. I get dizzy sometimes.
So have a great week, guys. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, that's going to be good. See ya. Bye.